Good evening, everyone. How we doing out there? It's Doc and Mav with ReadySetCrypto. Good evening. And today is Wednesday, the 27th of April. Welcome aboard. If you wouldn't mind, please give us a thumbs up and go ahead and like the page. Subscribe if you get a chance to our channel if you're not already subscribed, so you'll be notified when we're on here next time, which should be next Wednesday, I'm hoping. So everybody, where are you coming in from? Where is home from you? Where are you guys joining us from? Let us know. And if you get a chance, go ahead and start putting in some of your coin pairs as we get into the technical analysis section. I'll be happy to take a look at your coin and opine upon the price action for that. So, Mav, how are you doing today?
Groovy, just fine. Watching the market kind of have a little, well, I don't know. I guess you could call it a relief rally, but it's not much to talk about, huh?
No, it's not much of a move today, but we did get a little bit of good news after, we are running in parallel with the risk assets of the NASDAQ actually. And after hours today, we had Facebook and Qualcomm blow out some numbers. It was actually pretty impressive. So Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call them, actually did pretty well today. And, for all that we talk about crypto being a hedge to the equity markets right now, they're running side by side, and there's nothing we can do about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got Seb coming in from Riverview, Florida. We got the Gold Coast coming in through Aussie Slade. Welcome aboard, guys. We'll get started here in just a minute. Mav we'll talk about meme coins today. So I'm looking forward to hearing about meme coins, and we'll get into the TA section here. We will wrap up by about the bottom of the hour. About the bottom of the hour today, we'll wrap up. So we're just going to be with you here for a few minutes, in and out, providing maximum value here at ReadySetCrypto. Welcome aboard, guys. Let us know where you're coming in from today. Hey, we got Rich coming in from OC, California, Orange County. All right, let's see. Seb wants to look at Railgun. We'll take a look at that. Steam and KNC longtime projects. Okay. Hey, Coob, how we doing? Good to see Coob always on the channel today.
All right. I think I'll get started here. I'm going to very quickly go through what I consider to be some very useful resources for the space. Don't worry, I'm going to tie that into today's video topic because I know people are just chomping at the bit to talk about meme coins. But you have to understand kind of the macro environment that either supports or does not support a meme coin investment. And that's what we're getting into today. Because as Doc noted, we are in a very interesting spot, are we not? Things are pretty correlated with the larger markets. The NASDAQ being down about 20%, with that, 64% of Bitcoin's supply has not moved, that being the circulating supply. That means to me that Bitcoin is being used as a store of value despite unprecedented uncertainty in global markets. That is very contrast to what we're seeing in the markets today, is it not? Lots of fear, lots of just general extreme fear, and that's what the fear and greed index is all about. And then if you go to a Datamish, look into Bitcoin, they kind of track that or correlate that against Bitcoin's price. And what we can see over and over again is when we get into these periods of extreme fear with Bitcoin, obviously it's a bloodbath for everybody, right? But when it gets too bad, that's when we see an eventual return to the norm. Eventually the spring has taken too much and it bounces back. And that is the prime environment for, we call them meme coins, but really just any altcoins in general. Meme coins are just a special breed because they have a little unique blend of marketing, if you will. Dogecoin, SHIB has Elon Musk basically as the head dog or head Doge of those funds. And then a recent one, which is kind of an interesting blend of NFTs and meme coin, is APE coin. and it's doing whatever it can to stay relevant in this, very unkind market that we have right now. But it was one of the top gainers in the top 100 today, especially in the top 50. So not something to sneeze at. I think it's definitely something that continues to, despite what you think it should do, it does the opposite. So that's another thing. We like to use another resource called the Altcoin Season Index. This is a good kind of comparison between, is Bitcoin in control versus are altcoins in control? And meme coins are kind of the pinnacle of altcoins, if you will. But right now, it's not really anything. It is slightly towards Bitcoin season, slightly in favor of, the big one. But, until that drives any sort of movement in the market, until it takes the baton or takes the flag and leads us forward, we're not going to see anything. And I think that's indicative of why Bitcoin has just floated around high 30s, low 40s for the last couple weeks. And it's just kind of in that liminal state of, hey, not much going on, not much of a reason to get too fearful or too greedy. We're just going to wait this one out while things are clearly tumultuous in the larger markets. So until that changes, it won't be a great environment for meme coins, but they'll still have these little breakout periods because they're good at sucking a lot of the attention and what's going on in the room. They're good at kind of being a hedge against Bitcoin in that respect. Now, when we talk about this this logarithmic regression model, it's the Bitcoin rainbow chart, and I don't think it shouldn't be taken too seriously. And they even say that right in the instructions. But it's still a good representation as to these kind of flows of the Bitcoin and larger crypto markets, where we're just solidly in an accumulate phase. Even if Bitcoin goes down to 30K, which some analysts are predicting, and maybe a clock is right two times a day, we'll see. But even if that's the case, it's still a hell of a deal when you consider that one day that there's a very likely good chance of Bitcoin being 100K or whatever price you want to speculate. We just passed the halfway mark to the next halving. So there will definitely be some buy side pressure coming out of that. That's all about the there's the stock to flow model that's charting that and saying, okay, there's just a downward curve of supply available for Bitcoin that inversely creates demand for some Bitcoin price appreciation and people wanting to maybe get out of the equities markets or, just trying to protect their wealth wherever they can. That's what we want to see more of. We want to see people kind of flocking to crypto away from equities. And that, getting back to what Doc was talking about in terms of there being a high correlation between crypto and equities right now, that's when we see the disconnect. When people, we saw this in 2020, right? When people fear for their wealth or they want to get away from whatever's going on in the equity markets, they use crypto as a hedge, for better or worse, to get away from that. And that's something we're seeing more and more of, that behavioral pattern of people wanting to use crypto to secure their wealth, to amplify it, whatever. But while it's continuing to just go sideways, I don't think anybody's happy. So in a sense, that is a lot of what we're going to be looking at today. That is the wrong thing here. But yeah, in summary, I think it is very much the case that we will continue to watch what meme coins are doing just as much as the rest of them. But I think it is anyone's game once things start to turn around. And that's why I'm going to turn it over to Doc as soon as I figure out how to stop screen sharing. There we go.
All right. Good job there, Mev.
Thank you. Yeah. Pressing buttons is my specialty.
Right. I think there was a couple of questions that came in, which I will let you handle here as soon as I get finished with a little bit of technical analysis. So I'm going to take a look here and make sure that I'm on the right screen. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to go backwards here. Mogul, I never was able to find Mogul on here. So who was that? Seb, I think, was looking for that. I can't seem to find that one, but we will soldier on here and look at the next one, which was requested, which was Steam versus Tether. And this is a spring chicken here. This one is starting to get some pretty good volume. It's only been alive for just a number of days, about a week. So this is obviously an early guy here. I would, quite honestly, I would wait until it gets above about 65 cents before I consider accumulation of this guy. Okay, so I would, because otherwise, a lot of times when we see something which is brand new, it just gets destroyed first because everybody jumps on the initial coin offering and then, away we go. So it's not going to hurt you that bad to wait on 65 cents for the entry point. Okay, next one in the group here is Kyber Network. So we're looking at Kyber versus US dollar. This is a great looking chart, and I love how this thing is going literally exponential to the upside. So we have kind of a logarithmic curve on this guy here, which looks really good. So I like this one a lot. And where do you get in on something like this? I would wait for a little bit of consolidation. We can look at this on an energy level and see if everything looks good. Right now, actually, it does look pretty good. And if looking at the weekly chart, we're showing a little of exhaustion. This is why it gives me a little bit of pause to say, just jump right on board here. Maybe what you can do is look for a pullback down to about maybe 425. And that might be your entry point for this guy. Because in exhaustion, I hate to chase after something like that. Usually it gets whack-a-mole from this point. But I love Kyber Network. That's a really nice looking chart. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. All right, back to the daily chart. Next one we have here was Railgun. Let's see if we can find Railgun. There it is. And this is not a bad chart. It's pretty noisy and it's pretty illiquid. So it's honoring this trend line. And it is showing a little bit of volume along the way here. So I can just look at this chart though, and you can see now, I don't know if CoinEx is the only place to trade this. Let's take a look, because this looks like a really crappy exchange, but it may be the only place that we can get it. It's kind of the only place that I can chart it right now, which is via CoinEx. All right, so I can't do any better than that right now on TradingView. So this is it. So it's just looking at how whippy the price action is. There's a lot of games going on here. There's a lot of people pushing it up, pushing it back down. So as long as this honors this trend line, this is not a bad investment. So get in down here near the trend line and see if you can trade this. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term hold, but still relatively cheap at about 280 right now versus Tether. All right, let's see. The next ones that came in were MXC. And every time I hear MXC, isn't that like most extreme challenge? Don't get eliminated. Are those the right letters? I think. Yeah. Okay. So we're having kind of a triangle pattern here. Big consolidation. There should be a lot of energy waiting on the next. Yeah. Look at that. That's a massive daily and weekly. So both of these are really wound up. If you want to wait for something cleaner, wait for a breakout above 12 cents. A breakout above 12 cents may avoid you getting nuked on this thing. So as long as this one also is honoring this trend line, I would say it's good to go. You want to stay in this one as long as possible, but if it breaks this trend line, it may move quickly to the downside. So a lot of energy doesn't tell you which way this is going to go. It just says the potential for the next kinetic move could be up or down. So as long as it honors the trend line, then stay with it. But right now, actually not a bad looking chart. We've seen worse in this market. There's no doubt of that. Okay, let's see what we have next. APE. APE is our next coin, and we'll do that versus Tether. We shall. And we've been following this one for a while. Unfortunately, this is in a pretty nasty trend to the downside, and this is not really broken above that trend. It tried to. That was a throw over, almost like throwing a towel over a clothesline. So what I'm saying here is that I've got an aggressive buy point here up at about 260. If this is able to print this higher low and then break above here for a higher high, that would be an entry point at 260. That forms or confirms an uptrend. Okay, let's see. Oh, stars. Okay, so thank you very much, Seb, for instructing this idiot savant. Stars. There we go. So we got a wrapped ether. That's about the best that we're going to do for this one. And that didn't work out too well. Let's try something else here. Star launch. Okay. I don't think this is what you're looking for. That does not look what you're looking for. So, oh, there's, okay, wrapped ether mogul stars. Okay. So I'm assuming that this is the one that you're looking for, mogul stars. Wow, this is a really tough chart to trade off of. I would say if this is able to trade above the 200-day moving average, and this wrapped ether level here is about 11,000, that would be the buy point here. Okay, so, all right, bang, bang, bang. There's Digibyte Barry, and since he's here, let's just go ahead and do it. Do we have a different chart this week? No, we do not. Eventually, if you show up here enough times, we will get an uptrend. I guarantee that we will eventually have an uptrend during your presence here, but unfortunately it is not. What was that line from the Return of the King? It is not this day. It is not this day. Okay, so let's see. Next one here, just a couple more. Marcos, you really want to look at Netflix. Okay, all right, so last one here is Near, and we'll look at Near protocol, and yes, it is getting hammered. So we did have an initial buy point on this one about 12, and this was consolidating into this nice little pattern up here. And again, when you have consolidations, it can go one of two ways. And so we're like, all right, if it breaks to the upside, great. If it stays here, this is where we put our stop. We said, if it's going to transition to a downtrend, we're going to get out right there, which is right below 15. So right now we're in cash on Near protocol, and I would be looking for a break above here. As long as this forms a higher low, not a good looking thing. This is what we're seeing with just most of these altcoins, is that they go sky high like this, and then you just get hammered, whack-a-mole back down again. Okay. All right, last one here. We got a late entry for AGIX through Entheosapien. Maybe somebody can tell me what that means. Okay, AGIX versus the US dollar. Okay, so this one is, apparently we've looked at this one before. I would say, again, this is still a higher low for right now. This is going to have to get significantly higher, up to about 20 cents before a buy point would be seen on here. All right. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Let's go back. Thank you very much for all those coins and suggestions. A couple of good ideas there. A couple of nice looking charts with the rest of the market absolutely getting torn to shreds. We go through this every once in a while, and we're in just a much larger monthly pattern right now. So everybody's going to either be alternately happy or sad, depending on which month we're looking at the market. So we've been in kind of this pattern since November, and it's getting a little long in the tooth. So we may get some resolution here fairly soon. But unfortunately, what we're going to have to see is accumulation into the larger equities market, because they are married at the hip these days. Okay. Mav, you got anything else? Any final thoughts for today? We'd like to wrap up near at the bottom of the hour.
Ozzy Slade asked a couple of good questions, so I want to make sure I give responses quickly to those. The first was around, are meme coins going to take on social coins or start to resemble them? And that's a great question. That's definitely something I'm seeing a trend around. First you have like Dogecoin being slated to be somehow integrated with Twitter now that Elon is in control, for better or worse. So there's going to be aspects like that. And then we also have, as I mentioned earlier, like the blend of meme coins and like NFT type stuff. You know, say what you want about Ape Coin or Bored Ape Yacht Club or whatever, but I'd rather be exploring the opportunities that are presented. You know, it's one of those things where like at first you laugh at it, but then you kind of have to just accept that it's part of the new paradigm, whatever that is. So yeah, I think there's definitely interesting pieces of meme coins, especially as they are able to be, you know, as big or talked about as like Bitcoin, but they don't have exactly the disadvantages of having to be scrutinized for their utility so much. It's more about the social factor as you're getting to. The other question you had about Lightning Network at Bitcoin 2022 in Miami. Yeah, definitely. It was all over the place. There's a lot of emphasis on mining, a lot of emphasis on Lightning Network, a lot of emphasis on just trying to, you know, see Bitcoin and crypto utilized in a real world setting. So just super cool to see that. Super cool to see that the Bitcoin network is still trucking along, still getting lots of adoption in different ways, and is still, you know, sort of the rock of the crypto space. So yeah, very, very much appreciated my time there. It was great to meet so many people, you know, hear their stories about where they were in the crypto space or how it's changed their life or anything like that. So yeah, that's all from me today. As always, check out the links in the bio below to join some of our communities if you haven't done so already. And as Doc mentioned, like, subscribe if you haven't done so already as well. What are you doing if you're watching this, if you haven't subscribed? And yeah, hope you're doing well out there. Again, this is a sideways and down market. It's not, you know, the most friendly for the optimistic types out there, but I think we're going to get through this. I think it's going to be seen as an opportunity in time. So we'll just continue playing our cards as best we can. And yeah, we'll see where we are in a week. But until then, take care out there, guys. Doc, you got anything else?
No, I was just going to say we've had another imposter invade the chat once again. So I've been trying to block this, whatever this WhatsApp guy. So somehow he's able to just do a right click and save on our icon. And then, so if you ever see anything either in Discord or through any other channel where somebody is asking to reach out, hey, I'm from ReadySetCrypto and they're scammers. So, you know, we don't do that kind of stuff, guys. So you guys have a great Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you guys online. Don't forget to check out our resources, which are in the description below. And got a lot of, man, I got almost 1,800 people now on ReadySet.trade, which is a great community you can join for free. So check it out if you get a chance, as well as some of the other resources that we have in the links in the bio below. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us here. ReadySetCrypto is out. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Adios.